Learning is a very difficult subject matter, and we often throw around the quote, knowledge is power. But at what point does knowledge become truly powerful? It is at a point where we have acquired and applied knowledge and mastered that subject matter for us to be satisfied and content with it. In this short video, I'm going to share with you the layers of acquiring, applying, and mastering a subject matter. Rise and grind, Peps World. It is Quick Peps here. I am back at it again with my weekly videos, and I hope you take something out of it. On my channel, I share with you some transformational tips to help you grow and to be better at life in your profession and in your personal life. As always, thank you for tuning in and watching me in this video. To support, feel free to like, share, comment at the bottom, and subscribe. So the number one phase of learning is really acquiring. When we acquire knowledge initially, we often feel like we have learned, but we don't learn first time we get exposed to something. We acquire knowledge through watching, through hearing, through taking record and putting them on a recordable material. You have to be exposed to an information before you can move along to the next stage of learning and mastering the information. And the second level is really applying. When you acquire information, it takes time for you to understand it before you apply. When you first expose yourself to an information you have not learned, it takes you to apply the information for it to get to the level where you start to learn. As they say, knowledge is power, but the application of knowledge is more powerful than the knowledge itself. When you have the knowledge and you're not implementing on it by applying it, it is really meaningless. So you have to get to the point where you are starting to apply the information. When you get exposed to an information, it has with it an actionable plan of execution. By practicing, you are applying the information that you've learned. And the next level is when you really learn. You learn through so many different ways and means. You learn by making mistakes, by asking for help, and evaluating and analyzing your application of the knowledge. When you apply the information that you have acquired, you have started learning, and then you get to the phase where you make mistake. When you make mistake, you have to sit down, evaluate yourself, analyze the mistake, and really dig deep into understanding what your weakness is. That is where the learning begins. You ask questions to whom presented the information to you, or go to a person that understands the subject matter much better than you do, somebody that has really mastered that subject matter. You make mistake first, and you analyze and evaluate yourself to see where the problem is, and also move on to ask questions, go back to reapply the new information you have acquired so that you can move on to mastering that information. The next level is also adjusting. When you make the mistake, when you evaluate yourself and ask for help and get that information, you have to adjust and make changes to the actions that you take. As you continue to adjust the action that you took the first time, I believe it is going to enforce your learning so that you can better understand the application of the acquired knowledge that you are looking to master. So learning really happens here in this phase where you have analyzed your mistakes, because you learn from your mistakes. But when you make mistakes, that's when the learning starts. As you continue to press on consistently and persistently, you start to see some permanent changes. The things that you have applied start to become permanent. And when it becomes permanent, that's when you know you have really mastered the subject matter. You know, when you master something and it get engraved in you and it get embedded in your brain, it becomes a second nature. When you make changes, when you apply the information and it starts to become a part of you and becomes permanent, you have learned to a higher degree where things are starting to click and become permanent. And the next stage, which is teaching, is truly the point where you have really mastered the information. When you get to the point where you are starting to teach that same information to people, at this point you have really mastered an information and you have mastered a subject matter, because you are able to teach that information that you have acquired. So I hope this was helpful, and this really opened some doors of understanding for you, and you found value in these short videos that I have for you. Thank you for always tuning in. Again, feel free to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate your help and your support. Keep on grinding.